So if you're like me and you don't like to waste a lot of time waiting for your files to transfer from one thing to another, you definitely need to take a look at this little guy. What's up everybody, this is Scott. Welcome back to another video. I hate wasting time. And one of the big things that takes a tremendous amount of time, videos, photos, and file movement, which I absolutely cannot stand. And if you're like me and you're starting to use a 4K camera, those files get huge quickly and take up a ton of space on my MacBook or my computer. And that's where OWC came through and sent me one of these guys. This is the Envoy Pro EX USB Type-C. So the Envoy Pro EX is an incredibly small, all aluminum or aluminum SSD hard drive. Now the one I happen to have is 2 terabytes, but you can get everything down from like 500 gigs all the way up to like 4 or 6 terabytes for this particular hard drive. Now, yeah, you can go out today and buy cheaper hard drives, no question at all. But the difference in those and this little guy is you can do almost 1 gig per second of files on movement of either your iPad, your Mac, your PC, whatever. And I can validate that, and later in this video I'm going to show you moving a 36 gig Final Cut file from my MacBook to this right here using the USB Type-C that just comes out of the MacBook directly into the USB Type-C that comes with this guy is ridiculously fast. The best part about it, it is incredibly sleek. And so here is the cord, here is the device itself. You can see it's significantly smaller than my palm, and it is not very thin at all, basically about a pinky's width. And so it's incredibly thin, fits in your pocket, smaller than a phone, incredibly rugged as well. It's IP67 resistant, and it can go submerged in water up to 1 meter or 3.3333 feet. I think that's the US version of it. So I can dunk this into 3 feet of water, even with the plug from USB Type-C showing, and still not have to worry about my photos at all being corrupted when it comes to the water resistant. Like I mentioned before, it's compatible with both Mac and PC, plus devices like your iPad Pro, because the iPad Pro is USB Type-C, like everything else on the planet should be at this point. OWC is saying it is the world's fastest SSD card made to date, and it is lightning quick. 980 megabits per second, which is about almost 1 gig worth of movement per second. It is incredible in terms of how fast things move when you're putting it onto this SSD. It's so fast, in fact, I'm editing this video specifically off of that SSD plugged directly into my MacBook, none of the files actually being on my MacBook Pro. And that is something that is really, really important to me because my MacBook Pro is only 500 gigs and these 4K files, about a 10-minute file is somewhere in the vicinity of like 33 to 38 gigs, plus any of the B-roll that I shoot that might be in 4K. Each video could sometimes be around 60 gigs, and so that's a lot. Then you have your render files with Final Cut, and usually I only have just a few things in each library when I'm making it. If you're not a content creator, that doesn't mean anything to you, but the idea is if you have movies or anything like that that you want to move and perhaps take it with you on some sort of trip, maybe RVing since we're not all flying, you have the ability to have a lot of different photos and videos and memories on here that you can gain access to and work directly off of because of how fast this thing really is. This thing is tough. I mentioned before it was IP67 dust and water resistant. You can throw this thing around, you can get scratches and dents, and it's really not going to impact this all aluminum case other than just cosmetically. Performance-wise, you're never going to have any issues at all. I mean, other than like smashing it with a hammer, but you get the general gist. Regular life drops and oopsies and things like that, not really going to impact this at all. Also, in today's day and age, the fact that we can work from pretty much anywhere that has an internet connection, you can throw this in your bag and it takes up less space than your phone and have the ability to work anywhere and have access to all your files at a fingertip at a freaking quick instant. It is super fast. I've talked about everything that I love about it. What's the one thing that I don't like about it? Well, I'm just going to kind of say it. A 2 terabyte drive like this is definitely not cheap. A 2 terabyte drive just like this from OWC with the world's fastest USB Type-C for all the data movement that you might have is $400. So it's not going to be cheap. But again, if you are somebody who works with tremendously large files and you need to be constantly on the go, this is a photographer's or videographer's dream machine to work for sure, or a very heavy-duty business user where you can throw this thing in your bag and have access to all your files everywhere you are, or if you need to move things off of precious areas like the iPads that have a ton of family memories, you can sort and put this thing here and never have to worry about those memories again. So that's it. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Links will be in the description below for all the things that you can go out and buy. And as always, like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment below, and we'll see you next time.